Hi, GRCDC family and students. My name is Lyanna Moore. I am one of the co-leads of the GRCDC family team here at Grandpa's Child Discovery Center. I am so excited to share a book with you today in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. and his day of service. So this book is called Can Words Change the World? The Amazing Story of Martin Luther King Jr. This page says the copyright information. Once in the warm Georgia sun lived a boy named Martin Luther King Jr. He was a lot like you. He loved to play stickball with his friends. He loved reading colorful comic books. And oh, did he love to sing at church on Sunday mornings. But Martin grew up in a time when America had unfair rules. These rules were called segregation. They separated people just because of the color of their skin. Martin saw signs in windows that said whites only. He couldn't go to certain parks. He couldn't sit at certain lunch counters to eat a hamburger. It made Martin feel sad. It made him feel small. Martin's mother told him, "You are just as good as anyone else." Martin believed her. As he grew taller, his questions grew bigger. He knew these unfair rules had to change. But how do you fight a big, unfair rule? Some people said the only way to fight was with fist and anger. But Martin said no. Martin said hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. He decided to fight with his brain, his heart, and his booming voice. Martin became a leader. He spoke to big crowds about fairness. When the city of Montgomery said people with brown skin had to sit in the back of the bus, Martin said, "That is not fair. We will walk instead." For more than a year, thousands of people walked. Their feet were tired, but their hearts were strong. And because they walked together, the bus rules changed. Martin's words were like a bell ringing in the air. People heard him and they came running. They came from their houses and their jobs, teachers, doctors, grandmas, and little kids. They held hands, brown hands and white hands, and walked together down the street. They sang a song of hope. We shall overcome one day. Not everyone liked what Martin was doing. Sometimes angry people shouted at the marchers. Sometimes the police tried to stop them. It was scary. But Dr. King told the marchers, "Keep moving. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But keep moving forward." Then came the biggest day of all. In Washington, D.C., a giant sea of people gathered near the statue of Abraham Lincoln. There were so many people you couldn't count them all. They stood shoulder to shoulder under the hot sun, waiting. They were waiting to hear Martin speak. Martin stood on the steps. His voice boomed like thunder. He didn't just tell a story, he shared a dream. I have a dream, he cried. I have a dream that my 4 little children will be judged by who they are on the inside, not by the color of their skin. He dreamed of a world where everyone was family. He dreamed of a day when little black children and little white children would hold hands as sisters and brothers. Martin's words traveled far. They went into living rooms on TV. They went into the hearts of the people who made the laws. Because so many brave people marched and used their voices, the unfair rules were changed. The whites only signs came down forever. One sad day, Martin was taken away. The world cried. They missed their leader with the big voice and the big heart. The marching stopped for a moment, and the world was quiet. But you cannot stop a dream. Martin's dream is alive today. It is alive in the playground when you include everyone in the game. It's alive in the classroom when you are kind to a new friend. Martin used his words to change the world. Now the dream is in your hands. How will you use your voice? Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that story. Think about how your words can help change the future. Bye.